Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. Happy holidays. It's Christmas Eve when I'm filming this. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll take to get uploaded, but I'm going to start with the Mystical Shaman. And when I did split, we got Indian Cross and we got the Child. So this really speaks to like walking through a doorway from one stage of life to the next. So, you know, like examples could be like graduating from college or getting married or having a baby or, you know, something like that. But it's like something big is shifting. And when I lift it up, we have magic underneath. So that really speaks to like having guidance and signs and synchronicities around that are just gonna help smooth out the edges of this transition, you know. It's kind of like how people talk about how the holidays are the most magical time of the year. Well, this is going to be a magical transition. The Child represents like almost like a beginner's mind or a new beginning, but also it speaks to like second chances and redemption. You know, it's just kind of like starting over with a clean slate. Underneath that we have the Circle, so that's like getting support from the community, and we have the Gatherer. So the Gatherer is well, interestingly, like this is like the vegan in the deck. The Gatherer kind of just like roams the world freely and finds all the nuts and seeds and vegetables that they need on their path, you know, and they just kind of are in harmony with nature. So interesting, like it's almost like this person is gonna have this new beginning, and it's like almost like there's this community of people and of nature around supporting this person as they go through this moment. So it's like, wow, this is a big shift, but it looks like it's pretty blessed. My mom's laughing in the background. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Woodland Wardens and we'll see what we get here. Hopefully you're having a good holiday wherever you are. I've got like all the presents under the tree here. We're ready to go. We had a little bit of a snowstorm, which is, oh my gosh. This is wild because this came out in a reading. I don't know if I think it was like 2 readings ago, but it's the Coyote and Datura, Deceit. So we have that. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Salamander and Black Pepper, Inspiration. So it's almost like what I'm kind of getting is it's like whatever this deceit was, it's like been like almost like holding someone back, and like they're gonna walk through the doorway and like the deceit's not gonna be able to follow them on the other side. And I think like all this community is gonna close in around this person and form like a new bubble around them. And it's almost like we have inspiration here. So it's just, I feel like this person is going to be guided through this change, and they're going to have like inspiration also guiding them to sort of overcome whatever this situation is, this deceit, this nightmare before Christmas. So my mom was totally cracking up. We're gonna go to speaking of that, we're gonna go to the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. We might have to watch that night. I've never seen it, so we might have to watch it tonight because it is Christmas Eve and all. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull this deck out and we'll just see what we get. Okay, I'm gonna do a split. Okay. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Potions and we got the 2 of Presents. So interesting is the 2 of Presents is like, we have these 2 sort of jack-o'-lanterns in this, but it's like the 2 of Pentacles. So it's like things are in flux, you know, and there's a change that's happening. Like, it's like not stable, but like, I mean, that makes sense because we're going through this shift, you know, but we also have the 9 of Potions, which is a card of healing and a card of wishes coming true. So that's really actually good. Let's see what happens. When I pull down this change card, we have the Hermit, we have the 9 of Presents, and we have the Ace of Needles. So what I'm getting is there's a change happening for, we have this truth coming out. And it's interesting because yesterday I was talking about popping the bubble, you know, like there's this bubble of deceit that's being popped, you know. And there's a reading that I referred to in the reading yesterday when this came up called Popping the Princess Bubble. So that's a thing that's happening for the holidays. Definitely a big theme. But it looks like there's this sort of like person who's been kind of on this spiritual quest, and this is like the 9 of Pentacles. So this is a stable, independent energy. And so what I'm kind of almost getting is you see this person, this hermit that's been on this spiritual quest, and it's almost like they're coming around the bend and they're the one that's going to pop the bubble. Like, this is the person that's just like, you know, like, I've gone on this spiritual quest, I figured out the truth, and here it is. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting. And that's going to be the thing that like triggers the change to happen. And then when I pull down the 9 of Potions, let's see what we get. We get the Chariot, we get the 9 of Candles, we get the King of Presents, and we get the 3 of Presents. So this is really good. Like, it's really just sort of like, so we have this 9 of Candles, which is like the 9 of Wands. So that's like the Wounded Warrior card. And it's just sort of like, there's this King of Presents, which is like a King of Pentacles that's coming to this person with a gift. And it's really interesting because in the reading that I just did, there was this whole thing about having the talk, you know, with this King and Queen of Pentacles, because this truth was coming out, you know, this truth was coming out, and it was just like, it was clear that they needed to work together towards something, and like it was time for them to sort of have the talk and figure out how they could make that happen. So it's like, here comes the King of Pentacles with his gift, you know, and that's gonna sort of like be the start of this new foundation that's gonna empower this stable, independent energy that's sort of like popping the bubble right here. And that's what's gonna trigger this healing and these wishes coming true. So it's like, wow, this is really, it's like movement, you know. It's definitely like the next step down the path from the reading that we did, you know, yesterday about having a talk. Okay, so yeah, like, these cards just flopped out. So we got the Ace of Swords. So again, there's this big theme about this truth coming out, and we have this 8 of Coins. So this sort of like, almost like this work opportunity, which someone's just gonna like, they're gonna go for. Like, they found the key to unlock the path that's gonna like open up this opportunity for them, is what I'm kind of getting. It's weird how those 3 just kind of fell out. It's like, wow. So like, yeah, I think it's like this opportunity that's maybe gonna like free this person up to like walk through the portal, you know, the Andean cross into the next stage of life. You know, it's just sort of like, you get a new job, you're moving to a new town, or, you know, whatever. It's just gonna change your life, you know. Okay, so finally I'm gonna go to the Angels and Ancestors deck. And we'll pick a couple cards from this. All right, we do a split. Okay, wow. So we got Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within, which is interesting because we had magic here, which is helping someone to like walk through this shift. And then we have Air Guardian, shift your perception. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I think this person's like maybe been held back by some sort of deceit, and like it's like they've been banging their head against the wall, like trying to get past whatever the situation is. And it's just sort of like some truth is going to happen that's going to sort of like unlock the door, where it's just like, oh, like I figure like they're going to figure out how to break through. And there was like this reading for the solstice that was like an aha moment, you know, that like leads to a breakthrough. And so I feel like all of this is like sort of converging on this new beginning just in time for New Year. So it's pretty exciting. But yeah, it's like things are definitely moving in real time. So you know, sometimes I kind of go through these spurts where I don't do very many readings at all, but right now, like, you know, stuff is really live. So I'm sure I'll be back soon with another reading.